Now when I was saying I have a small one, I was not referring to anything else other than this watch. This watch is 36mm case size, not 35. They say 35, but they're wrong. This was the one I originally got. This is 40mm, and you know what? It wears really well, but I think proportionally it isn't quite right. But have they got it completely spot on with the new version? I bet you want to know. Well, this review is going to cover that. See you in a moment. We'll go into more detail. Now, I really love this watch. This is the first Escapement Time I bought, but I'm just getting a bit bored of its size, really. I mean, it's 39.8mm case size. I think I could do with making this a bit smaller. Let's give that a go. Let's see how well we've done. Yes. Perfect. So jokes aside, I did not shrink this watch down. Here is the original, and here is the new one. Here's some more information about the new one before we get into the review. Just got the stats and specs to show you. So now you know a bit more information about the size of this watch. You can get to see how I have an average size wrist, which I'm actually quite proud of. I have nothing to be ashamed of with my wrist size, but some of you may have a smaller wrist, and this is a watch for you because they deem it a ladies' watch. I would call it more a unisex watch. The reason I say that is because many watches for men are 36mm case size. That's what this is. They say 35, but I measured it on my calipers and it's about 0.1 of a millimetre under 36, so nearest damn it. And I think proportionally it works better. The reason why I say that is because I've said before with the original one, the lug to lug is perfectly fine, but it's relatively straight, a little bit of a curve down, but it just sits a little bit proud on the wrist. But then when we get to this one, it just, because it's a little bit more dinky, it's shorter, it's stubbier, and far more in keeping, almost identically in size to the original watch this is paying homage to, that King Seiko from the 70s. That was a 36mm case size watch. So this is actually getting even closer when it comes to homaging to the piece that it pays tribute to. And also another little thing I've noticed, when you put them next to each other, the dial on the new one is actually slightly creamier than the whiter one, which was the original, the 40mm case size. So that's an interesting change. So I like that. But the thing that has stuck and stayed is this stunning with the white option, this blued seconds hand. That is amazing. I do like that they've kept that. And that's actually blued properly. It's not been painted or sprayed or anything like that. They actually individually heat the hand and that makes it go blue. And to get it on a watch that's all in cost me £70 is fantastic. To get that little extra lovely little touch that you get there. And the fact it's a mecha quartz as well is fabulous. If you've not seen my other reviews on mecha quartz, it's effective. It's a Seiko movement. They're really cheap. But the little quirk you get is you get this 4 ticks a second, which is very vintage. Because a lot of the old movements from days gone by, they used to have this kind of frequency of the tick 4 ticks per second. And that's what this mecha quartz does. But you've got the benefit of quartz accuracy and reliability. Battery changes every few years, but you've got a screw case back, 50 meters water resist. Another perk is the screw down crown, which I think would add probably more than 50 meters resistance to this watch because no water is going to get in through the crown. I think the sealing of the crystal is done with a gasket. And then you've got a gasket in the case back as well, which is, as I said, screw down. So you've got all these little upgrades they've been doing along the way with these pieces. And I just think it's fantastic that they are offering watches which definitely will work for ladies, but still unisex and will work for many men as well. I like that they're doing that. I think more AliExpress brands should do this. So what do I like about this new version other than what I've said already? I really like the proportions. I've said it a bit before, but I just think it works better. I think the main thing is this lug to lug. And we put it with the other one. It's subtle enough. It's not a massive difference. I mean, it's probably 3 or 4 mil difference in lug to lug, but that does change how it wears. So I'm going to put this new one on my wrist just to show you. Get the old boy out of the way. And you'll get an idea of why lug to lug makes all the difference. Before I show you that, I have, like I say, just over a 7-inch wrist. and I'm only about halfway-ish on the holes for this supplied strap, so it's obviously not designed for women, because this wouldn't have fit me if it had a lady's strap length. So they've got the strap length to work on my wrist, so it's going to work on quite a few. I mean, I think you could go up to 7.5, even an 8-inch wrist if you really pushed it, and obviously right down to a small man or a lady's wrist. And then, as you can see here, this is where the magic happens. This lug to lug immediately allows this part here, where it conforms around the wrist, to actually fit extremely well. That's the thing that the other one doesn't quite do. It's a slight wearability issue. It's very minimal, to be honest with you, but the way it tucks around the wrist is different. Because this is shorter, it conforms perfectly and it doesn't look too small. Now, the thing that's bothering me is this strap, to be honest with you. I don't like a white strap. I don't want to look like Don Johnson from Miami Vice. As beautiful as that man is from that time, I can't pull it off myself. So I'm just going to change it out to another few straps as we chat, so you can get an idea of how versatile this colorway is for different straps. Look how transformative a strap is. I just thought, well, 18 mils, a good size, easy to find a strap in the old collection that's going to fit this. But the first thing to notice is this color. I put this on one of my stock items which I sell. It's called the Crazy Horse. This is in blue, and look how it just complements that blued second hand, and it just immediately makes it a little bit more masculine than that bright white strap, which is the main thing I always change. As soon as I get one of these in, I swap it out. But anyway, the thing that I always like to look at, and the thing that's always impressed me about the Escapement Time watches, is their overall fit and finish, and what you get for, like I said, 70 quid. That's all this cost delivered to me, and it's so fast. I don't know what they do. I buy loads of watches from AliExpress, and the delivery times, they really do vary, but Escapement Time are really on the ball. I get them within a week, sometimes 7 to 10 days here in the UK, and that is amazing speed. Beautiful thing is, it's always how the high polish of these indices and hands, how crisp they look and how really smoothly finished they are. There's no ripples that I can really see. There's never any specks of dust. There's such a high polish. So when the light hits them, it's gorgeous. It really plays with the light. A lot of high polish on this watch. I mean, I think I would prefer, if they could do one, this mid section of the case to be brushed, just to break it up a little bit. But I do like the case design as well. It's really interesting. A lot of different dimensions. I like how this bezel angles in a bit there. And we've got this lovely scalloped effect here with the way the lugs conform round here, and then flat tops here on the lugs, which are brushed. The brushing's pretty neat. Only if you look really close with macro, there's a slight bit of untidiness between the polished element and the brushed element, but it's still overall really good. And they've got this bit spot on in here, which sometimes is a bit scruffy or a bit uneven, but it's really neat in this one. Really neat polishing, really smooth. Never really have problem with the finishing of these watches. It's always so impressive, and the comments I read from you guys whenever I do a review on one of these watches is always the same. You always back it up, and it's very rare I find a problem. I've only had one that had a bit of fluff under the dial, and someone asked, "Oh, how did you get that out?" Just check out my mod videos. You can see how you take a watch apart and how straightforward it can be with a few basic tools, but it's very rare, to be honest, and I haven't had to do that with this one. This came and it's absolutely spot on. You know what, I thought it'd be quite a cool thing to do, because this has increased water resistance, and you want to maybe go to the beach or it's summer and you want something a bit more light, something a bit more absorbent of sweat or residue that you can just wash off. A good old NATO, you can't beat it. And this is in royal blue, and it just works perfectly again with this watch, because it's not going to have too much height, so it still conforms nicely. Really comfortable. The blue again is going to work with that gorgeous blued seconds hand. Just so versatile, these watches. And if you want to be an absolute nutcase, why not slap it on a strap, which is almost as much as the watch. This is a £50 ostrich leather strap, handmade in Italy. I sell these in the store, different sizes. This is actually a 19mm, so I squeezed it in here nicely. It's very soft leather, so see, it squeezes in very easily. It wasn't a struggle at all, just use the 18mm spring bars. But tan as well, that just works again really nice with this watch. You can make this like a dressy piece, you know, it's small, it's elegant, very simple. They're so much fun as well. To get something that's got that more classic Seiko-esque look to it, with the modern technology, the reliability and ease with the quartz, it's very cheap to buy. And then you have the specification in there with great solid stainless steel, really nicely finished. And then you've got the Mecha Quartz Sapphire Crystal. It's going to have scratch resistance. It catches the light and plays with it beautifully. The overall fit and finish is really stunning. So yeah, I would say, would you buy this one for a man or a woman? Both. This is where it's a winner. This watch works for anyone, really. It works for people with medium to small wrists. It works for ladies. You've got different colorways. You don't have to just get the white one. There's loads of color choices. You've got blue, you've got sky blue, even got candy pink, you've got navy blue, you've got green. Loads of choices. Crazy what you can get for your money nowadays. Incredible value. So looking forward, what can I visualize as they obviously listen to what we say, you know, in the comments, and us reviewers, we go, you know what, I wish they did a smaller one. They made a smaller one. Or I wish they did different color options. They brought out different color options. I bet people said, oh, I wish they did a screw down crown. They did a screw down crown. They are obviously listening. So what would I suggest as upgrades or changes for my personal taste in the future? Well, I'd like, you know what, a gold one, gold indices, gold hands, etc., with a champagne dial, and that would just look really classy. It looked really like a bit more of an old man granddad watch. Go down that road. It's a very clean and very popular design, and I think they can play more with that. Like I say, with different finishes, different colours of even the case. The dials they've played with, fantastically. I love these Dauphine hands and the indices, that's great. I don't think they need to do much more with that. I think that they're reaching, not perfection, obviously there's always little flaws, but they're getting to the point where there's not much more you actually need to do with these watches. They're offering such a wide variety, and keeping the price at £60 to £70 all in is incredible. And I just think we don't want to spoil that by demanding too much, because I think they're doing a fantastic job. So I think we've got another winner here from Escapement Time, which is another bit of good news, but it's actually bad news for my wallet, because if they keep doing this, I keep buying them and I don't need any more. Having 4 of the same watch is ridiculous. I know they're all different, but they're so similar. What am I doing? If you'd like to see more from me and want to see more of these kind of videos, just drop me a comment. Give this video a good old thumbs up and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.